Alright, so now we're going to go to Sicily and we're going to talk a little bit about co-fermented wines. So this wine is from the FUSO line from Dario Sarantini, I think is his last name. And this is a project that he does that's basically like the local wines that people will come with their little carafes, big carafes I guess, and bring back to drink at home, but on a natural scale. So it's like a fun entry-level wine from a Sicilian perspective, which they drink a lot of Nero there, and then what they do is they actually add in 10% white grapes to bring in some acidity. So I love this wine and I love this entire line. I hope to get more from his FUSO line in the next couple of months, but this one I thought was nice for January because a couple of the wines that we've had so far, like the ones from Spain or from Georgia and Greece, have been a bit more broody, I would say. And this wine just has a bit more lightness to it. And I think a lot of that comes from that 10% white grapes, but also Nero really just plays in a totally different area of red grapes. And it has all these characteristics that are quite different. So I would not put this with the same foods, or maybe I would, I don't know, but like it's almost like more jammy than some of the other reds that we've had so far. So starting with the color, it's pretty beautiful, like red ruby, and it's not super alcoholic. I think it's, well, you'll know because you have it, yeah, only 11.5%, so quite light. And on the nose, it really has a bit of a jamminess to it that I enjoy. I don't enjoy it when it's like jammy and almost like thick, but jammy and light I always find to be a really nice pairing for natural wines in the winter, because sometimes when it's like chilly out you just want a little bit of that, like, I don't know, like blackberry jam, cranberry jam. I'm not exactly sure what jam I'm going with on this one, but the fruit definitely has that quality to it, and that's on the nose. But then when we talk about getting into the palate, such an interesting mix, because it would not be the same if it didn't have the white grapes in it. I think it would fall a little bit flat, which is probably why he added it in, because that jamminess and that Nero as it stands right now it's like a little bit, it's round, it's definitely round, but it's not very acidic. It's a little flabby. So having that extra 10% white added in is really, you know, I can still honestly feel a little bit of the flabbiness in my mouth, like in the mouth feel, but with the amount of acid that was added in from the white, it makes it feel still like a really nice balance. So as far as like fun, easy drinking Sicilian wines, I honestly a lot of times don't even really like Nero that much, but in natural expressions I normally do, because they do have this and add this freshness to it. So I think this is a really good one for if you're gonna have, I always go back to meats, but let me just think of like, as like, I'm not a vegetarian, but I make a lot of vegetarian food. Like this would be a great one with different types of squash, like maybe like you stuff an acorn squash with like some rice and mushrooms and cranberries. Like, ooh, this with cranberries, I think, because again it kind of goes back to that cranberry jamminess to it. That is a really great pairing. This would have been good for Thanksgiving too. So throw something in with like nuts or with like dried fruits, that would really crush it with this wine. It's also honestly like light enough and airy enough that you could have it by itself, or with like a cheese plate. Probably like with a cheese plate, but like maybe leave out the charcuterie. I would do more like the soft cheeses. That's where it would really shine, with also like some honey with it, and some like berries on the side. Put it with the berries for sure, dry or not. But I love this wine. I think it's great for this time of the year, and I hope that you put it with some really yummy food.